Hello everyone, I'm David, that's Greg, and we are Beastie Geeks. In about 2 weeks, CMON is going to launch the newest Kickstarter for Marvel United X-Men, and on this occasion we prepared for you a review of current version of Marvel United.
So it was a very long journey with the Marvel United, because we love Marvel, but on the other hand, that chibi style was not very our world.
It was a bit repulsive.
Yeah, but Marvel is a Marvel, so we of course follow the campaign, and because of we are in Europe and they publish, I think, in the night, yes, for an hour time.
Yeah, it's our time. Updates are at night.
So yeah, every night I knew what kind of meaning is joining the party, and we didn't back it during the campaign.
Just for $1.
Yeah, for $1, and I think last day of.
Maybe not last, but few last days of the Pledge Manager, just before Pledge Manager was closing, we decided to finally back.
All in, of course.
Yeah.
So thankfully it's here before those...
Marvel United X-Men?
No, before those changes with taxes.
Yeah.
We didn't have to pay extra money for that. And now we can play it, so we want to show you what do we think about the Marvel and what you can, I think, expect from the X-Men, more or less.
So let's find out what are we thinking about Marvel United after playing a lot of times.
We always try to point out how immersive a specific game is. Marvel United, with all of its stunning components and great art, is trying everything to make us feel welcome, but it lacks any flavor text, short descriptions, etc. It would be great to add some short comics for each boss or some famous quotes on heroes and villains cards. Unique names on the card skills referring to each persona is a bit lazy choice. Look at Cthulhu Death May Die, and how a few sentences and even phrases here and there can change how we feel about the game. I remember my first thoughts during the Chaos campaign. Too simple game with a ton of chibi minis and about matching colorful symbols. But then we played the game for the first time, and after 1 week we played already 20 times. The core of the mechanism is simple as hell. During your turn, you play cards from your hand and use its powers and symbols, plus symbols from card played by previous player to perform action. And then you have master plan cards, which are used by villains to spread chaos you have to clean up, and after solving enough crises, defeating enough villains, sidekicks, or rescuing enough hostages, you can attack and defeat the villain. Up to this we get end turn bonuses on the locations you manage to save from crises, some special behaviors of each villain, and roughly speaking that's all. But so small amount of mechanics are enough to provide, at least from our point of view, very engaging sessions we want to repeat at least several times in a row. Add to these dozens of heroes with special skills, new modes provided by add-ons, specific villain behaviors, and you have a massive game with almost endless replayability. I've seen plenty of comments saying game is boring, and I have to say, I strongly disagree with that approach. During the original Chaos campaign, after seeing the rules and watching short how to play from CMON, I was almost sure Marvel United will be too plain for my taste, and together with chibi style, it will be targeted to the young audience only. Finally, the ton of miniatures and Lang's name convinced me to take the risk, and I do not regret any cent spent on a game. The fact that the game has so easy rules but provides a challenge at the same time only confirms years of experience of both CMON and Lang. I know I sound like the biggest fanboy, but it's not the case here. After my contact with Zombicide Black Plague, I was so underwhelmed I swore I will not go this road again. But both Cthulhu Death May Die and Bloodborne proved me wrong. And same is with Marvel United. The game is definitely mainstream design, super easy rules, no time setup, everything is clear and easily trackable. But it's important how all aspects of the game are connected with each other and how they provide challenge and engagement, remaining simple at the same time. Everything matters here. from the order of card to help the next player, through saving your cards for better occasions, order of saving the locations from villains to use special location skills, etc. Planning ahead, especially with the higher difficulty or when playing with some of the expansions, is the only way to win the game. And up to this, you have countless synergies and combinations between heroes. Yeah, they are not always balanced. Some heroes work better against some villains than others, but it's up to you to discover it and have fun during the process. Marvel heroes in chibi style, meh. I found it so repulsive at the beginning, I just couldn't stand the thought of transforming my favorite heroes into kids' toys. But this changed too, and once we made an unboxing, I kinda fell in love with the style. Maybe it's because Marvel Universe is everywhere now, and Infinity Stones are literally laying everywhere. So maybe that's why chibi style is refreshing to me. I'm the guy who collects and tries to paint everything through Marvel Crisis Protocol, so I do not need a second set of serious miniatures. And it's hard for me to admit, but seeing some minis in the chibi version is just hilarious and pleasing to the eye. Solo, 2 players, 3 players and more. With each player count, the game is great, and the only thing that is changing is the amount of talking above the table. With more players, game can be a bit more difficult because all of you should cooperate and plan everything ahead, together, to be as effective as solo players or 2 players. Everything in the game works for us, and the game keeps us engaged each time we play it, but it's huge credit to the fact we have everything from the original campaign. Let's be brutally honest now. The retail core version of the game is more a toy, less a board game. A demo with which you can have a fun, but for a moment. And this moment can be longer when playing with kids. The retail core can bore you quickly, and without expansions the game can't show its true colors. Also, one note about the playmat. To cut the costs, game doesn't have any kind of board you lay on the table, and without the playmat this game loses a lot of its charm and cohesiveness. I understand business reasons against the board in the box, but still it's shame how the feeling of gameplay is different with or without the playmat. To be fair, we should score the game from 2 points of view. The core retail version deserves 6.5, maybe 7 at most scratches. Content is so reduced to a minimum that if this will be the only experience with Marvel United, you can be far from satisfied. But with a few expansions and playmat, game shows everything it should be, and we have no regrets scoring it for 9 scratches and grant it our mark of the beasts. That's all for today, see you at the next game.